side by side. With passion and glory we carry with pride. The bubbles still float as the memories stay. West Ham United will never fade away. The bowling ground where our hearts found home. Now London Stadium where we still roam. Hammers Football TV, we stand tall and true. West Ham are massive in claret and blue. The Hammers, they rise with the fire in our veins. Forever we'll sing truth, the joys and the pain.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the West Ham Review, and hope everyone's had a pretty decent day in there. Obviously, you can see it's me and what can we call him today? Of course,
the old bastard. The old bastard in the corner.
the bastard in the corner.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Tony. How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. And yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing very well, thank you. Yeah,
brilliant.
Not bad at all.
Good to see that as well, mate. And let's start off with
obviously not happy with the stuff at the weekend, etc. But we'll get to that.
We'll get to that point.
Yeah,
we'll do indeed. We'll get to
other than that, everything's good.
Des is saying evening to me and yourself, which is nice. And then he's saying
evening, Des.
Evening, Des. Hope you're well. Good evening, Harry. He's saying good evening, all you beautiful people. Come on, you in irons as always. Tone, Budgie, Dazza, hope you're all well. Me old Maccas, he's saying. Yeah, we're very well, Harry. Hope the same for you as well.
Good evening, Harry.
Evening. Hope it's not too long until Arsenal play West Ham again after Sunday. All the best in your future endeavours, he's saying.
That slightly tongue-in-cheek there, Pepsi? Maybe.
Yeah, cheers, Shirley, Harry's saying. Pepsi's saying, big up, Harry. I won't take much pleasure if we win. I like you lot. Yes, we will talk about that shortly. Good evening, Chris Mill. Chris, how are we doing, mate? Good to see you as well. Thanks for dropping in.
Good evening, Chris. Thank you for popping in, son.
Also, good evening, Brendan. Evening, Budgie chat. I'm getting good at avoiding the intro music.
Good evening, Brendan.
It for you, Brendan. I will work on that.
I can do that for you if you send me the original.
Thank you, mate. Good evening, Terence. He's saying, evening, gents. Evening there. And obviously, Brendan's also saying, fine evening to everyone as well, which is always good. Good evening to Josiah. Thanks for dropping in as well. I think I need to go to the rage room. Yes. We should be okay at the moment, Josiah. Think a bit like that. It's not done yet. Not done yet. How are we saying? Today, I've mostly been listening to Dr. Feelgood.
Good shout, Harry. Good shout.
That is good. Brendan saying Pepsi has been laced with Coke Me Twigs. Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, Chris, for that. That's a banging intro. Thank you very much, sir, indeed. Well, Budgie, what can we say, mate? It's not exactly been a great week for us lot, is it? That's for sure.
No, and I'm probably going to have to warn the people that do the subtitles. You may have to just put lots of stars and X's in a minute. I think that my own personal opinion of the match probably will differ to a lot of people because I was watching it while I was busy with other stuff, but I was working, so I was kind of watching it while I was at work and it wasn't really ideal. So I may have had slightly tainted view of the game, but I just wasn't happy with the the whole package. You know, I just thought the whole team let us all down this weekend. I didn't really feel like there was too much fight and desire in amongst them weekend. Not like the previous weekend, you know.
Yeah, I think that's the
felt it
worrying
was
thing.
lacking.
I think that is the worrying thing. You know, when it looks like the next couple of games to go, and we seem to be turning it off. Whereas this man and his mate, Sheriff, good evening, Cookie. He's saying big up Tony and Budgie. His team have obviously got a little bit of a light as well, kind of going on. And of course, Cookie was very kind to send us this lovely picture, just to remind us, everyone, that this could be happening to good old West Ham. Cookie, thank you very much for that. I did have a chuckle when he sent it to me last night, but
sorry I couldn't make it last night, Sheriff. I was, otherwise engaged. I was working till late, and then obviously I had my Wednesday night show I do, so I was unable to make it. But I will watch it. I haven't done as yet, but I will watch the show. But thank you for that as well, Cookie. Thanks for that, mate. I should log that one.
Brendan's got a few of the old Dr. Feelgood tunes in his playlist at the weekend. He's saying, Terence is saying, today I found out why women close their eyes during sex. It's because they hate to see a man having a good time.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Absolutely superb. Well, hey, coming you are in, Sharky. Good to see you as well. And
good evening, Sharky.
The good thing in there, he's been a member for 15 months, and appreciate that, Sharky, as well. Thank you very much for that.
Nicely done, Sharky. Nicely done.
Aaron say, Marky Mark. Pepsi saying, let's all hope Spurs lose on the weekend as well. Yeah, some interesting games coming up there as well. Harry and Toba High lads, and obviously Northern Light for me today, Harry. There you go. Yeah, I mean, I think the worst thing for me hearing, because I was working myself as well, but so listening every now and then, it seems to be more than anything. People weren't pleased with the wingers, with Somerville and Bowen. They didn't seem like they was committed into the game. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that try as hard as he may, even Thomas Souček couldn't turn things around when he tried, and I, from what I was able to watch, I thought that Souček really was kind of a man on a mission on his own, really. It's what it looked like to me at times. I'm not saying Fernandez didn't do his part, because clearly he must have done. But I don't know. It just kind of seemed to me that Souček was trying to be everywhere and anywhere. He was making himself available when we were in possession. I thought he had a good game yesterday. On Saturday. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Is he the right man for the game this weekend? That is the question for me. Do you go with that? Tommy Souček, who knows Declan Rice's game to a degree, to a certain point, knows his game and probably can counterbalance a lot of his game, or do you stick in the young boy, that Kante,
yeah.
Do you stick him in and tell him bully the bastard life out of the man? Because he's capable of doing that. He's very capable of bullying his marked man, the man he's marking. I've seen him do it in the 21s.
Yeah, I think it'd be a
but Rice is a very different prospect, Tony. That's the next point on that. Rice is probably in the top 3 of players in that position in the world today. He's in the top 3. There's no denying it. He's the best in the United Kingdom, that's for sure.
No, of course. Where do you think his head would be in this when you think about that?
Well, according to his press statement, which I thought was actually quite generous of him. Do you know what I mean? I thought there was no need for him to do it. But in his press conference, and I'm going to paraphrase because I can't remember the wording, but he said, look, when Chelsea let me go, West Ham found faith in me. And they are responsible for who I am today. Without them, I'm not Declan Rice. Paraphrasing.
Yeah.
And then he said, I have a job to do and I'm going to do it professionally. But I hope West Ham will survive, their endeavours or whatever of that nature. So, he's going to play his game clearly and rightly so. He's been gone for, 2 seasons now?
Yeah.
So rightly so, he should be playing for the badge that he's wearing. But to have that side note, shows he's still got that badge on underneath, as it were.
Which is it's nice. At least he hasn't forgotten, which is great.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I mean, some people might find that insulting that he's said all of that, but not me. I don't think that there's any malice or insult in that at all. But like I said, some people might find that's slightly insulting, but I don't subscribe to that line of thought.
Yeah, I get that as well, mate. Harry's been a member for 4 months as well. I appreciate that,
Harry. Well done, mate.
Brendan's saying, Ton, if we are relegated, I'll still be in your chats next season in full force. Some of our favourite Hammer memories have been in the second tier. Yeah, I mean, look, we've been there. We've done a job there. We'll talk about it as well, I think, in a minute. German Rock Talks. Yeah, Harry. Big up to Michael at the Chelsea Edge. He says, big up to Ton and Budgie. How are
Michael,
you guys this evening?
Good evening.
You will beat the arse this weekend, he's saying.
I hope we do. I really do hope we do.
Brendan says, I'll call you Edge at some point. You wear the hat like the under U2 fellow after all. Good evening, Gary. Hope you're doing well as well. He's saying here, evening, lads. I've come to the conclusion that I'm afraid it's the championship next season. I can't see us winning any of the 3 games the way Villa rolled over against Spurs was criminal. I mean, when you look at that, yes, there was a lot of the so-called conspiracy saying about like Villa making all these changes in the game, and they did look poor in that respect, and you got to blame Emery for that. And don't get me wrong, I mean they're playing tonight in the second leg here. Their eyes on that part, but Emery should also be looking at. He had a perfect opportunity here to leapfrog Liverpool with a win. And, at the end of the day, as I said on the 2 Mark show when I'm there, I said, any team that do that, then they deserve to be slapped, simple as that. So, looking at this, I mean, Forrest is still 1-0 up at the moment in the aggregate. And after what he did, maybe he gets his deserts in that respect. Because it doesn't matter, because I think if you look at it, they still qualify for the Champions League anyway, regardless.
Yeah. I
mean, what's your make? Did you think it was? I mean, there's all this talk, but at the end of the day,
look, Aston Villa are a club that I've always not admired. I suppose I've got an arm's length respect for them. Okay, like I have for a number of teams, Aston Villa happened to be one of them. I've always had like an arm's length respect for them, bearing in mind, I don't know if anybody really knows the history, but they are responsible for the colours that we wear. Okay, so I've always, in my back of my mind, I've always had that arm length respect for them. And I think that I had David Moyes been able to do that in the Premier League when we were going for the Conference League title, or even either of the two Europa League tournaments that we were in, if he could have done that and got away with it, he bloody well would have done. And would we have complained? That's the question, really. I think maybe there would have been a 60-40 split on, it was the wrong or the right thing to do. Yeah? I would have probably been in the minority saying that it was the right thing to do. So there's my answer. I think Emery did everything that I would have done had I been in his position. I've got my eye on a Europa League title. I'm not letting go of that. And, yeah, you're right, I could leapfrog Liverpool, but how long for? Realistically.
I suppose there is that as well.
The Europa League title is for life.
Yeah. Not a bad shout, mate. That's true. There is that to it.
I mean, I know that's a little bit of a controversial and maybe a bit of a cocky attitude to have towards it, but had it been us in that competition, and David Moyes, I use David Moyes as the example because he was managing us at that point. So had he have been given that opportunity and done it, I would have gone, well done, Mr. Moyes, thank you.
Yeah, I get that.
Let's concentrate on that. We got that silverware anyway without having to do that. But it is an easier competition to win.
True.
As we
I suppose
discovered.
if you look at it like this, mate, it comes down to, if it was somewhere halfway through the season, we probably wouldn't bat an eyelid at that point. Because obviously these last 3 games are so important for both teams. You can understand where people think like that, and it's not wrong. I mean, at the end of the day, we're looking for survival. Yeah. They're looking for survival.
I mean, everybody's train of thought on it is right. Nobody can be wrong.
No.
You know what I mean? Because what we do is we commentate on what we see, hear, and watch. Yeah. So, I mean, everybody's points are valid, but what I'm saying is that. Those that are saying that Emery was disgraceful, I think maybe should cut him a little more slack than that. Because would you have given that same rebuff at David Moyes, or would you have given that same rebuff at Pep Guardiola if he was doing that in the Champions League, or Arteta did that in the league? Just what if Arteta's got the most important game of their European campaign since he's been the manager coming up? If they win tonight, they go through to the next stage, yeah? And if that game was 3 or 4 nights after our game against them, and he fielded, the likes of Lewis Skelly and whatever, are we going to say that's disgraceful? I don't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think, as you said, there's
I'd like to know the Tottenham view on that. Can you tell me what the Marks said?
Well, I mean, if you look at it from their point of view, and a lot of their people in their chat, they were saying that they played well and they deserved to get it. I think they was impressed by how much Spurs pressed in the middle of the park, did their jobs where they needed to. I mean, obviously they knew forward lineup, there wasn't much to offer, but as some of them said, don't know what team I'm watching because you don't look at Spurs. This is never seen this before. Some, but I mean, like Sheriff, believe it or not, kind of referred the style of football to Pochettino days.
Okay.
So yeah, for them, it's a turning point for them. You can understand that.
Maybe the De Zerbi dust is actually finally sprinkling on the players.
Could be that.
But anyway, listen, it's not them we're worried about. I mean, we can't control anything that happens to them. We don't play them now the rest of this season, so nothing we do will affect them other than if we lose, it gives them more momentum.
Yeah, I think that's the awkward part about it, is the fact that we play first and then they play after.
Yeah.
So
I
the
mean,
pressure's
I
on
think
us.
I'm going to go off screen, but you be out with me. I think
No,
that this weekend, if we were to get a draw this weekend, I think that still gives us momentum.
yeah,
I don't believe it takes anything away from our momentum. I don't think it adds to Tottenham's momentum. Just getting one of them out of the fridge.
nice.
I don't believe it adds to Tottenham's momentum. I think if we draw with Arsenal, which we're capable of doing, Tony,
Absolutely.
if we draw with Arsenal, I think Tottenham look at that and go, "Whoa, hang on, you know
Yeah.
these lads we thought were finished, gone and struggled and drawn out a draw with them boys who are fighting
Totally
for
agree
the
on
Premier League title. It would be good. I mean, and we are capable of doing it. We are very capable
Yeah,
of doing
absolutely.
it. We
Sorry,
need,
Michael. No, sorry,
yeah.
Buster.
No, just saying we need everyone to be on their game.
Oh, 100% on that one. No, unfortunately, mate, I'll be working. Talk about bad timing for me and that, but yeah, I'm starting my first day shift on that day. Chris is saying, I guess if you go down, you'll all be Southampton fans this month. Look, I mean, both Millwall and Southampton have done an exceptional season. I think if you look at it, Southampton have proved what they can do when they played Arsenal. But you're more likely as well, though, Chris, to do it kind of thing. I mean, if you look at it, for you guys to come up through the playoffs, that'd be an exceptional season for Millwall.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Regardless if we're up there or down, basically.
Yeah. I just want to say something on that though, on Millwall. I've seen Millwall at their worst. My age group, your age group, Tony, you've probably seen them at their worst. We're talking from a fan perspective. Okay? Seen Millwall at their worst, at their very worst, right? And they've probably seen West Ham at our worst, right? But I've also seen them at their best. When that young girl, Isla Caton, was really ill, they had fundraisers for Isla. And when she passed away, they had another one to help towards cost and stuff.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got nothing bad to say against them now anymore because of that, you know. And a few of the lads that I know at the pub and my daughter's father-in-law, Millwall fans, you know, and we get on. There's been no bloodshed yet.
Harry's saying obviously Villa through the game there, he's saying there. Terence is saying he's going to be watching the match with Aaron on Sunday. We've got an habit of turning him over when we're not expected to. I'm keeping the faith. I think this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, Arsenal can be there. I mean, if we can press their especially Saliba and Gabriel, there is the last couple of games, there's faults with them.
They've been a little shaky.
Decent season, yeah, I agree on that, Budge, and I think we need to exploit that. That's for sure. Brendan's saying, "Come on for us tonight for it as well." And Harry's shown some love to Yeti because he's doing a watch along in the game at the moment. I mean, look, Villa's pushing you because it's saying 6 attempts to Forest's 0, and they're 2 attempts on target so far. Villa, so not exactly great. Aces, good evening to yourself as well. Good to see you. Brendan's saying, sorry, mate.
Yeah, go on. Sorry. Yeah, no, go on.
Brendan's saying to Millwall, Chris, Neil Harris started at Cambridge City, and because of his link, I hope the Lions are promoted. Nice. And Ace is saying hello to you as well.
Aces, how are you, mate?
You was going to say, mate, sorry.
No, I was just going to say that with Terence watching the game with Aaron, I expect that's one time in the year you don't really want to be, because Aaron's an Arsenal fan, isn't he? His son.
Yes, his son, yeah.
That's his son, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's an Arsenal fan. So that's the one time of the year you don't want to be having to watch the game with your boy if he supports them, you know what I mean? Especially how important this part of the season is for us now. Yeah, I would imagine that's going to be torturous for you, mate. Yeah.
Michael saying to Harry, I don't like it when teams throw games and cups away. Every trophy is precious these days. That's a good shout, actually.
Yes.
Harry's saying Fleelberg 1, Braga 0.
Freiburg, yeah.
Ace is saying, yeah, Sullivan doesn't care about trophies, only money. Yeah, that's an understatement itself. Brendan's saying, changing the team and not performing are two separate arguments. Bear me, I've just got to go off, got a phone call to take.
That's all right, mate. Yeah, I can carry on. I won't be able to put them on screen, but Sharky is saying Iriola set to manage Palace next season. It'd be a good appointment for them. Okay, mate. I don't know where you've got that info, but let me know, because I'd like to have a look at that article. Thank you very much. Brendan saying, really, Sharky? No disrespect to Crystal Palace, but I thought he'd aim higher. Maybe there's, a programme in place. Sharky then says, I'm a bit surprised himself, replying to Brendan. Gary, good evening, Gary. He says, we shouldn't be in this position having lost 22 points from winning positions. Great point. I know Moyes' style of football was not to everyone's liking, but we would be in Everton's position. That's what he thinks. And you're probably right, mate. We would probably be at least another 5 places up the table, I think. Even on his worst season, Moyes wasn't that bad. Aces, good evening, mate. He says he thinks if Arsenal scored first goal, Fraudetta will probably shut up shop. Well, that would work in our favour because we like the breakaway counter-attack football. So that would help us. Footy Corner TV, good morning to you, mate. Hope you're well. I'm about 8 or 9 down from where you last were.
Let me just go down. Iriola set to manage Palace next season. Iriola, that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to go up north or something like that, but interesting.
Yeah. Well, there's an answer to that. Look.
No respect to Chris Palace, but I thought it'd aim up. Yeah, and that's the same with me, Brendan. I thought that's what he was going to be doing. That's interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all are on that one. Thanks for dropping that in, Sharky. I mean, I didn't expect that. I ain't seen much of the news today myself, but bloody hell, that's...
Yeah, I'd like to see that article, though, Sharky, if you could post well, not even so much of a link, but just tell me where you saw it. I'll find it.
Let me just say hello to Footy Corner TV. Thanks for dropping in as well. Good guy as well.
Yeah,
morning to you as well. Hope you're well. Gary's saying we shouldn't be in this position having lost 22 points from winning positions. I know Moyes' style of football is not to everyone's liking, but we would be in Everton's position. That's what I think. And interestingly, I mean, Gary's got a good point there because I know when I used to my old job, going into some of the upholsterers, there was 2 guys in Charlton, big Charlton fans, and there was more concern when Kerbishley got the 40 points because they were saying he just shuts up shop, gets the 40 points and shuts up shop. But not being funny, look where Charlton are now to them 40 points. It's one of those. You got to think to yourself, where...
And you got to remember, some of the players that Charlton signed under Kerbishley, including Paolo Di Canio, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, he actually he had the tools there to get himself 46, 48 points, but never actually stretched them to do it. Yeah, it's weird that.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the thing. I mean, we know full well some of the games that we've had that's cost us these points. I mean, we wouldn't be having, we wouldn't be worried at all. We'd be comfortable. But then we'll have to deal with the ownership at the same point as well. That's the worst part. But look, Moyes going to Everton, it was the right move for him. He knows the club, he knows it inside out. New stadium they've gone to this season. He's loving life at the moment. He can't complain in that respect until, of course, he came to West Ham and we beat him. But other than that,
and to be fair to Moyes, kind of gone home, hasn't he?
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah,
I mean, like his managerial career, although chronologically didn't start at Everton, but for his CV, all of his successes come since he got to Everton. Now, a lot of people will say, yeah, but he never really won much. But, that team was consistently mid-table to lower high table, He rarely found himself in a relegation battle. Rarely.
True.
With Everton.
Yeah, I agree on that.
And then he sort of went off and did what he did. He went to Man United. It sort of went all wrong and blah-de-blah. Come to us and then gets silverware with his pragmatic style of football. So, let's not write off the likes of Iriola going to Crystal Palace, because already Crystal Palace are a threat to anybody. And then you go and put a manager like that in there with a few added players. I think that's like, a match in a tinderbox.
Yeah, it's a weird one for me, though. All right, don't get me wrong. He is kind of, in certain respects, he's going from Bournemouth to Crystal Palace. So there's a few more seats in that stadium compared to the old Bournemouth ground. So he is kind of getting bigger. But you'd rather think he'd gone on to something much more bigger than Palace. But
it's a London club. It's a London club. You've got to remember that. And I think you'll find that the current ownership of Crystal Palace are looking to expand stadium.
They are, yes.
Not necessarily the footprint of it, but the height of it. I think they're trying to, but I'm not sure that that'll be extra seating. I think that'll probably be, lounges and conference rooms and stuff like that, to sort of boost their financial income.
Yeah.
But having said all of that, it's a London club, and that's not a temptation that many managers will turn up, will turn down. Sorry.
Just find it weird. I didn't realise that was the case. Yeah. Wow. Ages are saying, I think if Arsenal scored first goal, Fortet would probably shut up shop.
Yeah.
Interesting. Good evening, Colin. He's saying, good evening, Tony and Budgie. A pleasure joining you.
Cole.
And the same for you as well. They've been what Nahas Footy Corner's saying. Palace 1, Shakhtar 0. Thank you, Harry. And Colin believes very firmly that we are staying up. Nice one, Colin. Absolutely. Yeah, Cole. Yeah. And Matty Rainey's in. Oi, lads and ladies. Hope you're doing well, Matt.
Good evening, Matt. Hope you're well, mate.
Everyone's saying. Matt's saying to Colin, my answer is, I can hope so.
Yeah. I hope your crystal ball is giving you the correct information there, Colin.
Interesting. Look, Sharky saying a few of the media outlets reported the story earlier today about Iriola.
Right.
Wow.
So thank you. Right. Thanks, Sharky. Cheers, buddy.
Terence saying to you, Budge, don't worry, I come from a generation where we could slap our kids, laugh out loud. And I won't be feeling bad about as his DNA is debatable, bloody hobbit.
Mate. Brilliant. Yeah, just be careful, Terence, though, if he's telling you, yeah, Dad, but I'll just let my team's football do the talking. Don't let him get away with all that bullshit. You know what I mean? Just remind him of the 66 World Cup and the 80 FA Cup where they lost. Oh, yeah, to West Ham. Yeah, just remind him of all of that, mate.
Remind them bits. Remind them bits. Brendan's saying Valverde and Tucumeni have been fighting at RM. Valverde taking a hospital. Jesus Christ, man.
Oh,
That's
wow.
not good. Jesus. Friend is saying, yeah, to Toby, is that really? And also he's saying, yeah, dressing room incident. Maybe not fighting then. Oof. Yeah, he'll come out in the wash, as they say. That's not bloody hell, man.
We'll probably find out now. He's hit him on the head with an iron. Come out in the wash. What happened? He threw a bottle of surf at me, so I hit him on the head with an iron. Go on, mate.
Gary's saying, if we get relegated, do we keep Nuno or sack him? If it's the latter, Scott Parker or Michael Carrick, if United don't keep him, both ex-Hammers and could be a fresh approach to the scene. So, yeah.
Gary. Go on, Tony. You crack on,
question.
mate.
I mean, if you look at this one, Budge, I mean, apparently there's no... His contract's virtually kind of coming into an end as it is anyway. Do they keep hold of him? Because at the end of the day, if we do go down, is it the case of, well, he's got to answer for himself and he's got to get us back up there? Or do we kind of start afresh? Scotty Parker, I don't know. Is he the man? Because when you look at it, yes, he was great for us as a player, but we've seen his managerial style has not exactly kind of done well to get him up. So maybe we could use him for that basis alone. But in the Premier League and that, he was found a little bit wanting, not being funny. It's going to be interesting to see with Frank Lampard Jr., with Coventry, how they're going to survive.
Yeah. Don't be surprised if Lampard brings in a new number 2.
Oh, guaranteed, mate. Yeah, guaranteed.
It'll be somebody like, I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm just kind of giving you the kind of status of somebody. It'll be somebody like Stuart Pearce or Alan Irvine, but not those people. It'll be someone of that kind of stature, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree on that.
It'll be somebody that can really do the job behind the scenes with him, for him, help him out, you know?
Just so you know,
Premier League experience.
Villa's just equalised. So it's 1-1 now in aggregate. Defensive had an absolute mare.
Did Watkins start?
He started. He's got a nice bandage around his head as well. They're looking for an offside. I think they will be, though. Ball gets played. Telemans, I think it is, lays the ball across. And it's a simple tapping off. Oh, not Telemans. What's his name? Oh, I forgot his bloody name there. He plays the ball over and that. And it's an easy finish for Watkins. So 1-1.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean,
there you go.
If we don't keep hold of Nuno, I mean, the thing is with Michael Carrick, it looks like he's more likely going to get the United job. I think they're kind of realising that he probably is the right fit. But then, so Jim Radcliffe, he does weird and wonderful things. But if it does happen, out of the two and that, who would you rather prefer? I mean, for me, it'll be Carrick.
Okay, right. Well, first of all, anyone else that's worked anywhere in the construction industry will kind of understand where I'm coming from with my approach on this. Right? Nuno has basically walked onto a site, onto a construction site, with everybody else's tools and everybody else's materials, and some of the work has been done, some of it's been left unfinished, some of it hasn't even been started, and he's been expected to go in there and have a show house in one season, right? That's not an easy task, trust me. You know, it's like asking someone to come in and finish off a badly half put together ramshackle fucking shack and try and get a mansion out of the place in 6 weeks. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. So for me, Nuno has stabilised everything. He's made sure the foundations are good. He's got 1 or 2 items in his locker that he doesn't want or need, which he will be able to sell or give back to the people that he got them from, whatever, you know what I mean? And he'll be able to go out and he'll be able to get one or two others, because he will get money back on the players that he's going to sell if he stays. And we know who they're going to be. Let's not kid ourselves. We're not going to have Bowen. We're not going to have Somerville, more than likely. I think Fernandez goes. I think Disasi goes. I think what's his name? Tadibo goes. And I also think Areola goes as well.
Interesting. So I'm going to come back to that. If we go down, I'm going to come back to that question. Matt Rainey's saying, I have a good feeling about the Arsenal game. Yes, they are the best in the country at the moment, but they shit themselves under pressure. Absolutely true. We've done it once or twice before. We can do it again. Come on, you Irons. And if you look at it, that's something that we have done in the past, haven't we? We've always upset the apple cart. Man United, we've done it with them a couple of times. So who knows, mate?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Look, recently, 3-4 maybe years ago, we were struggling under Moyes. It was Mark Noble's last ever home game. We were playing Man City, who were rampant at the time. And in a 7-minute spell, Bowen put us 2-0 up, in the first half.
Yeah.
And, things changed then all of a sudden. All right, okay, they came back and they drew 2-2, but we still got a point there. So, who knows what could happen this weekend? True. It feels like it's another must-win game.
Absolutely.
But it isn't. Hopefully they'll feel that it feels like a must-win game. And they'll go out and do their best to try and get what they can from the game. Points.
It's like you're saying, Gold reported it, and then the Sun newspaper, it's not confirmed, but it's rumoured that Areola could be getting off to the Palace. Harry's saying the Sun, for fuck's sake. So this one as well, because we'll come on to this with the players. I'm just going to start that one, Matt. I will come back to your one on that. In the Sun. Shakhtar have equalised. Harry's saying that, Brendan's saying teleprinter is in the house. Chris saying, piss on Palace, go down next season. You can feel the love. Sunshine on the rain, absolutely. 40 Corner saying, but calling the guy at the top of the league, Fortetta, is a bit wild. Yeah. I mean, if you look at what you call it, Ace is a Arsenal guy.
I can't lie, by the way. ICL.
I can't lie. Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's had stitches. Yeah, because obviously Gibbs White, he's got a nice old scar up his face and black eyes on the weekend.
Yeah, they're all trying to compete with Thomas Soucek to see who can get injured most.
Yeah, but you have a look at Gibbs White, mate. He's got stitches going from here all the way up to about here.
Oh,
two shiners. He's really got to town, and I think it's Sancho.
What did he do at the post or something?
Right, the keeper. It was the keeper, Chelsea's keeper, when they've collided. He come burst off. Harry saying, yeah, all is not well at Real. Chelsea Edge Mark saying, Brennan, yeah, all going off at Real Madrid. Then the team needs a proper manager pronto. Strikey's also saying, Real Madrid players losing their heads in training, not literally, of course. They should get Big Sam in. Brennan saying, Sin Arsenal.
Here's a controversial one. Here's a controversial one. I think that Madrid should just get Zinedine Zidane back.
Oof, imagine that.
How good were they under him, though?
He knew what to do, didn't he? He did know what he was doing.
And he didn't have none of this bullshit going on in between these players in the changing rooms and that.
Yeah.
The only players that were going to hospital either happened on the pitch when they were fighting for the cause, or he's knocked them out because they're pissing about. You know what I mean? Nobody messes with that man. You know, really, to be fair, he's not a violent man as such.
If you want to mess
But
with Norwich, post.
he's got that presence, isn't he? You know.
True.
And you get him in a team like Real Madrid. Look, they proved it before they got him in, untested. To be fair,
Yeah.
And he had them playing like Real Madrid. He had them playing how he wanted to play.
Go back to the old school, exactly. Yeah, agree on that.
That's exactly right. So maybe they should look at that.
I think, I don't know. You look at a club that it seems to be. I mean, blimey, I was saying about my workplace, Budge. I mean, you look at their kind of thing. They got so many people on the board. There, it's untrue.
Yeah,
that's a weird one.
Yeah,
Colin reckons we should play 4-3-3, an extra midfielder, Cantey against Arsenal. Otherwise, we'll get overrun in the midfield. And I think that's what he's got to look at. Maybe kind of pack the midfield out. Maybe just kind of stop their play.
Mentioned this last night in a chat. Someone mentioned something similar. In fact, I think they were talking about like having 3 at the back or something. And I said I would prefer to see a 4-3-3 with Kante and Fernandes playing like the anchor points in midfield, and Tommy Souček playing the point of the triangle, and then if necessary they can rotate. But like to see Tommy Souček playing would you call that, the 8 role?
Yeah, he's an 8 role really, isn't it? He's doing that. I mean, even if you think about it, maybe either keep him in a defensive position, just kind of like, CDM, just kind of make sure you win all the balls in the air and splay.
Who's that, Tom?
Yeah. Just to kind of...
Yeah, but I mean, playing that thing, he can... Thomas Souček's got the footballing brain and the experience in the Premier League and in a relegation fight. He's had all of that experience already at West Ham. So, he would be mindful enough to know when he needs to be in line or when he needs to be more forward or more defensive. I think Tommy Souček playing that central role would be pivotal in the midfield if you're going to play 3 in midfield.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a triangle, but I like to see it as a triangle when you're sort of like looking at it on paper.
But
then,
who would you have as your front 3?
That would be Somerville left, Bowen on the right, and in the middle, I would start with Tatty, and then at 60, if it's not working, Callum Wilson, and change nothing else there, unless it was necessary. My back 4 would be, and this is probably going to shock you, on the right, it would be Kyle Walker-Peters. Centrally, it's got to be Mavropanos and Disasi. They've been the most spectacularly successful defence we've had this season.
Yeah, agree on that.
And then on the left, it would be Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I would be dropping Diouf this week.
Yeah, he's not been playing well, has he?
No. And it would be Areola in goal for me.
The experience on that as well, yeah, I get that. Yeah, it's not a bad shout, mate. Not a bad shout.
And probably one of the best stoppers we've had since Jussi Jääskeläinen. He's bloody incredible. And talking of goalkeepers, we have got a goalkeeper in our GSE tonight we are going to talk about.
Absolutely.
Just a little heads up, everybody.
This would be the biggest one, though. Look at that. Big Sam at Real Madrid would be the funniest thing. Good evening, Lisa. Hope you're doing well. She says, "Hey guys, hope you're both good."
Hi,
Big up to the
Lisa.
chat too. I hope you're doing well, Lisa. Good to see you. Brendan's saying, "We're still a bit now, but how about a cup winning ex-Hammer, Wiltshire, early year first?" Mate, I mean, Wilshire's starting his trade off at Luton. He seems to be kind of doing well there. Even Defoe's had a good record so far at Woking. Yeah,
but Defoe has said himself he's not looking at going any level higher than Woking
He's got to learn
this
it.
moment in time. He wants to learn his trade. He wants to dirty his boots a little bit, Tone.
Absolutely.
And you
mate, I
can't
agree.
blame him for that. You know for a fact, right? And I know for a fact, with the current situation at West Ham right now, if West Ham were to offer him the job and he was to take it, he's going to have bombardment from the fans. He's got a certain section of fans. He's going to be bombarded by the players because of how good he was in his own right. You know, they're going to be trying to bombard him for his knowledge and his experience. And, you know, most of all, the media stroke social media are going to absolutely hammer him.
Of course.
Literally hammer him.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So 5 years down the line, most of the fans that had something against him will have seen him having some relative success, hopefully. We will be more respectful of that rather than him leaving the club the way he did. And maybe 5 years down the line, we might want him as our manager. I mean, the whole fan base might want him as our manager. You know, he might have gone and won the FA Cup with Woking, and they're now in the Championship, you know, and they're in the playoffs. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you never know, mate. It's got to start somewhere. I mean, unfortunately, one managerial career for an ex-Hammer has been cut short in Andy Carroll. He was given the interim job at Dagenham Redbridge. He's been relieved of that duty straight away. They've got another manager in straight off. So
yeah, he knew that he was only interim though. So
yeah, he didn't last.
You know, I mean, the thing is that won't be the last time you'll see him in a dugout.
Nah, of course not. What's Michael saying?
He's working towards that more and more now. Anyway,
we've got no choice of the matter. I think the old legs probably can't do it. Chelsea, Michael is saying to Sharky, behind the scenes dramas are always no doubt more exciting. Kind of hoping that's happening down at the Chelsea. I'll tell you, happens all the time there. I think Michael. Good evening, Malkster. Buen dia. That's the fella. I know it was B, but I've got my bloody name. Thanks, Malkster. Sir Nuno. Sir Nuno. Jesus. Harry is saying, yep. Freiburg 2, Braga 0. Yeah, true. It happens all the time, I imagine. Look at our form under Nuno. It's been okay and it's been different. Big up to Taron as well.
Improved dramatically in the last 6 months.
Yeah, without a doubt. Big up to Taron at BBK Sports. Big up Tony and Budgie.
Good evening, Taron. Well. Hope you're well, buddy.
I was just saying, I don't see West Ham and Tottenham winning their last 3 games in the league. Interesting, very interesting. I mean, like, you know, we have done a number on Arsenal. So if and I say big if, we turn them over, that will upset the apple cart, not just at the bottom of the league, but also at the top of the league. But a draw sounds a bit more favourable, and obviously a win be even better because that throws the pressure back
I think a draw not only sounds more favourable, but it sounds more achievable against Arsenal, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we know that we've been able to shit out a result like that before against teams like Arsenal. You know.
True. Matt saying it, Tony and Budgie, we stay up. What's the plan for next season?
In what respect, Wayne? I think you're probably referring, like, as far as the club are concerned. And I wish I had an answer for you, because if I did, I'd be working there, wouldn't I? Now, joking aside though, Wayne, to be honest, I'm not sure as far as the club's concerned. If we stay up, I'm hoping that makes the club a more tempting prospect for a sale of ownership, you know, change of ownership. And I'm also hoping that it means that, there's a little bit of money invested into the club, where even if it's only our facilities at the training ground are upgraded to the 20th century, that would be something, instead of 18th century porter cabins and stuff, But, maybe, but I don't know. American money is very tempting because it seems to be an endless supply, like there is when you get a national state behind you. I don't know. I think if we stay up, I think we start looking at new ownership. I mean, we've been doing that anyway, but seriously,
if this ownership, the current ownership stays as it is, the one thing they've got to do is look at this season and think to themselves, we can't go through that again. Surely we can't go through that again. We've got to make some kind of positive changes. To say we're probably going to lose a couple of players just to kind of recoup and try and balance the books. And the interesting thing, I'm going to go back to that one I started earlier, because if you look at that side of things, let me just go to that one, Budge, anyway.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
Which is this one from Matt as well. Is it true we go down Bowen to Newcastle or Liverpool?
Well, Liverpool has been on the cards. Sorry, Liverpool has been one of the whispers for about a year now, a calendar year, or more even. Newcastle has come about recently, and it has been mentioned by a number of other channels. I'm not using names because I can't remember what other channels I've actually heard it on. Perhaps it was Network and Hammer's Chat. They're the two I listen to the most. Probably on those.
I've seen it on X, the old Twitter thing. That's also mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
As well. Newcastle is seen to play. I don't think Liverpool would be interested in him now. I think they're looking at a different kind of age set for the type of players they want to get in. So when you look at it, it seems to be Eddie Howe's been given the backing from the ownership. So it looks like he's safe for now. And if you're looking at Anthony Gordon being sold off, which is another thing they're looking at, then maybe Bowen fits that bill to be versatile on both sides of on each wing. So who knows? I mean, obviously,
the thing is, I think the way it stands at the moment for Bowen, I think he would probably prefer to stay in London as his home base. So I don't think he's going to want to go somewhere like Newcastle, I think, or Liverpool, because that means uprooting his kids and everything. I don't think he wants to do that. But a club like Brentford, bear in mind now, this man is now 28, coming up 29. A club like Brentford or Palace, another London club, or maybe even, I don't know, Villa, someone like that coming in for him. He could drive to Birmingham on a daily basis. I used to do it every day.
Interesting.
I think a club like that might be more of an appeal to him, purely on the basis that I don't think he would want to uproot his family.
Yeah, I can see that side of things, but I think maybe he's looking at his last hurrah kind of thing. He's still thinking probably of England at this point. Is a bigger club going to be better for him to go to? I mean, I can understand what you're saying about staying with a London club, but will he feel that that's enough to kind of get him that chance to play for England, or will he kind of be overlooked? I don't know. Maybe it'd be interesting.
Palace are the current holders of the FA Cup. And, where are they in the league? 11th, 12th, somewhere like that, isn't it? Something around there. Around mid-table somewhere.
Yeah.
So, England managers are not stupid. They'll look at... I mean, how many games are they going to watch Palace, a team like Palace or Brentford or someone like that? How many times in a season are they going to look at those clubs anyway, under normal circumstances, even if they haven't got a player that's on their books or on their, radar? They might go and watch, say, Arsenal, to watch Declan Rice and any others, and they're playing Brentford on that particular day. Then they might go and watch West Ham because they want to have a look at Jarrod Bowen, and they're playing Brentford on that particular day. And the list goes on. Liverpool, because they want to have a look at X, Y, and Z, and they're playing Brentford on. So they might get to see Brentford 3 times through the season anyway, True. Without aiming to. So, if you had a player like, I say, Bowen or, whatever, on the periphery of the England squad, if they're playing for someone like Brentford, they're likely to be a target club to watch by the England setup. Maybe not by Tuchel or the manager at the time himself, but definitely one of his subordinates.
Get that.
So,
What's got to said? Yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, all we've got to hope for these next 3 games go in our favour, and let's see what so hopefully that makes a change. But like I said, I just hope the board's going to realise that we can't go for this same rigmarole each season.
Yeah.
We don't want to be going down like that. Colin's saying if we stay up, or about Nuno, he has to go. He's cost us too many points from winning positions, and he's too negative for me. Which I've heard a few people saying things like that. Brendan's saying we could get relegated on 42 points again. Winning point is just would be absolutely mad. Sharky's asking the question: Hull, Millwall, Southampton, or Middlesbrough to go up? Who do you lads think will be promoted? Oof.
I'm actually kind of hoping Millwall do get promoted. Automatic promotion for Millwall would be absolutely huge for them. More so than the other 3, because the other 3 have all achieved it before. I'm not sure that Millwall have.
No. I say Ipswich nicked that spot last week, didn't they? That was the problem, the automatic spots.
Of course they did. Yes, they did. Of course they did.
Yeah. So they needed to split up for Millwall.
Oh, these are the 4 teams that are currently in the playoff places.
Playoffs, yeah.
Right. So, for me, I suppose I could pick 2 of them, couldn't I? Because it'll be 3 coming up. For me, I'd like to see Hull and Millwall come up, if I'm honest.
Cool. Hull, do you remember them when they was in here? Yeah. Was it old Phil Brown, wasn't it? Phil Brown. Yeah. Jimmy Bullard. Yeah, yes.
Doing all that. Giving it all that. Remember mate. That. I love that. And also, Jarrod Bowen's ex-club.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's that.
That's where we got him from, mate. So lovely to see them come up, it would be. A little bit of nostalgia for Jazza. But, I think them 2. Hull and Millwall for me.
Good.
Because, honestly, Middlesbrough is a fucking horrible away day, and I wouldn't want to wish that on all my mates that I know that go. I really wouldn't.
So for me, I'd say Southampton and Millwall, them 2. Strasbourg, Neil Valerio 1. Meltzer saying, obviously, Nuno's in-game management has a lot to be desired. Too many points lost from winning positions for my liking, the same as they're saying there. I think if you're looking
That's
for me,
true, Mel. Yeah,
it's just the case that I'll agree with what you said earlier. I think it just proved the point. He brought in a couple of players and it made a massive difference, clawing 13 points back, etc. So if he gets the chance in the summertime, who knows? Who knows? Chris is saying, Sharky Millwall, of course. What sort of question is that? Harry's gone with Southampton. Ace is saying Zidane has already agreed to join the French national team. Bloody hell. Bayern Munich open talk to Newcastle over Anthony Gordon. Yeah, we're just talking about the fellow and all.
Zidane's already going to go to France.
Because I think Didier Deschamps.
So what's happening with what's his name? Not Laurent Blanc.
No, Didier Deschamps.
Deschamps, that's him.
I think he's
standing. Wonder where he'll go. He's had an element of success with the French national squad. You know.
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
He's proven to have a team that have been hard to beat. For sure. They've been defensively very good. So now, does that put him on the open market now then?
Should do.
Does a club like Chelsea, Michael, go and get one of their ex-club players?
Ooh, good shout, Budge. Good shout.
Who has had an element of success with the French national team, high standing there. Do Chelsea now go and get him? I think they should. That for me, now that I know that for me is where Chelsea should go. I mean, I'm just putting it out there, mate. You know.
Yeah. Sharky is saying, he'll go for Middlesbrough. He thinks Southampton are an informed team currently, which I think they are. Matt saying to Chris, I've got you lot to win the playoffs due to how you've been playing this season. Don't mention his mother. Ace saying Jose Mourinho is reported to be joining Real Madrid in the summer. Yeah, it seems like he's going back there. It seems like he could be the one.
Wow.
Yeah, football's worst kept secret. Mourinho going back.
Yeah.
There you go. He's already mentioned it. Look, Didier Deschamps was always leaving after the World Cup, so hardly surprising. Matt says, I want to see 4-3-3, Areola, KWP, Dino De Sassi, Scarles, Suchek, Kante, Fernandez, Jimmy, and Titties. Bowie.
He means tatty, not yeah.
Sharky saying Pablo can't be trusted with an egg roll, let alone playing a role in the team. I mean, look, Pablo's. Yeah, I think he still needs to learn his trade at the moment. I think that's the biggest problem.
Do you know what I think Pablo is? I think he's an exceptional number 8.
Good shirt.
Thank you, babe.
See, I think he is. He's just played out of position every week.
Yeah, it's not a bad shout. So, thinking of that though, would you then consider? I'm not talking about the game on the weekend. If that's the case, then would you kind of swap Pablo for, say, for instance, Traore? So you've got Tati and Traore putting the attack on.
Right. So, excuse me. I think right at this moment, I would be willing to try something new and dynamic. Right. So, like I said, my back four, I would have exactly as I said. I'd have Areola in goal. I'd have Disasi and Mavropanos in the middle. I'd have KWP and AWB on either side. I think I'd have Walker Peters on the right, though, and Wan-Bissaka on the left. And then I would have, as I said, a midfield 3. So perhaps then it would probably maybe be, instead of Kante, have Pablo in there with Souček and Fernandez.
Yeah.
And then the front 3, as I said before, Bowen, Somerville and Tati. And then later on swap him out for Callum Wilson. And I think that should be a planned substitution. Bang on 60 minutes. So, Tati knows he's only getting 60 minutes.
Yeah.
I've got to prove myself now. I need an hat-trick today. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you're right there, Budge. Try and keep it fresh. That's the thing.
And motivate them. You know, right, Pablo, listen, I'm going to play you as a number 8/6 today. Don't let me down. You work your bollocks off like you do when you play up front. And if you get a chance to get in on goal, then you do it. But if you can put someone else through, do that too. Pablo will play that role, trust me. I've watched him play. That is the kind of role he would thrive on. I reckon he was playing maybe a full... I know he was playing more of a forward role, you know, before he came to us. But it's a different league, different setups and everything. I just think he's suited to that role behind the strikers.
Interesting.
I think he'll work hard for that role, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what you want out of a player. You want them to work hard. You know, and he does. You know. Kante works hard too, but he's a young lad. But so, again, is Pablo.
22, isn't he?
He's on 22 coming up, yeah, or just 22, one or the other.
Yeah, look, the Championship, we know it's a hard league. He says ex-Premier League teams struggling to gain promotion. West Brom, Sheffield United, Derby, Middlesbrough, Stoke, just a few will be very out about straight back up. I mean, I heard the Spurs lot saying, you know, because, you know, who we are, we'll be back up straight away. And it's like, yeah, you haven't got a clue. You've not been in that position.
Yeah, Spurs, if you are who you are, you wouldn't be in this position.
Yeah. Matt saying about Hermanson, never gives me confidence, doesn't talk no command of defence, can't catch a ball. I mean, he's got to learn his game as well, hasn't he? Craig Bellamy,
good shout, but he's loving his time with Wales right now.
Yeah,
loving it.
Tongue there, though, isn't it? Matt says, well, if we go down, he'll take Scotty Parker. Nuno's got to go. Harry's saying Defoe is a yid, but Matt's saying apparently in an interview with Nicky from West Ham Football TV, he's wrongly advised and regrets it. He still wore that shirt though. That's very true, and we know that with points. Gary says Craig Bellamy would be a good shout now. Wales didn't qualify for the World Cup.
Yeah.
I used to say no, Andy Carroll probably had butted Chairman on the way out.
Yeah.
There you go. Look at that. Hornchurch versus Torquay player final on Saturday. Winner goes into the National League. Yeah,
well, I'll be rooting for Hornchurch.
Absolutely. Dad's asking, what do you think about the Arsenal game? I think if you look at for me, Daz, I think we've got a very good chance of getting something out of the game. I mean, like Arsenal are flying. We can't deny them, and they've had an exceptional season. But at the same point, we do kind of tend to turn up when we play teams like that. You know, we look at the Man City game, we did very well there. It all depends if we do exactly the same against Arsenal. I mean, it'd be interesting for me if, you know, because Arsenal's got Burnley as well. If it's the same Burnley team that played Man City, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
the thing is, I've got to say about Arsenal quickly is that even the cheater runs out of stamina at some point.
They've had their
time. They raced into the lead.
True.
Such a big lead, and now it's being eaten away.
Yeah.
Week by week.
Look at Ace saying Arsenal will win the title on Sunday and get destroyed in the Champions League final because yes, they got PSG. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
40 quarters say, did they have porter cabins in the 18th century? Yeah, we
30 corner, mate. Come on. I thought you knew.
We started it off. Still got shares in them.
Yeah.
Ace is saying
it took exactly 12 blokes to pick them up and carry them.
Ace is saying, why on earth is the Conkies offering Forte a new 4-year deal and £21 million a year is completely, utterly bonkers.
Really?
All they see is he's a pound and pence sign. He's a pound and pence man, and he's just bringing the money. Oh, blimey, the old so it's 1-1 on the yellow cards for the bench for Forest and for Villa. Oh, Ignor's just gone on their player there. He's poleaxed him there. Jesus Christ. and I can understand why the
Who is it Forest are playing, Tom?
this is Aston Villa's second leg, so it's 1-1
Oh, right.
now. But one of the
Oh, they
Forest,
are playing each other.
yeah. So Forest, it was
Oh.
the first leg last week. Forest went 1-0 up. Now it's the second leg. They're now equalised, and say, but on the coaching team, it's 1-1 on the yellow cards. They both got yellow cards either side. It's lucky to stay on the pitch, though. I mean, that challenge he just made on him, and there's no attention for the ball there. Bloody hell!
I've got a question for you, Tom.
Mm.
It's probably a question that some of these lot want to ask as well, because somebody asked me the question. We go down to the Championship next season. What becomes of the channel?
Interesting. Channel doesn't change in my eyes. I mean, it's still West Ham at the end of the day.
Do you know what I said?
What did you say?
Another bloody 8 games to cover. But you know what I mean? Yeah. He said, what happens with the channel? I said, well, there's another 8 games guaranteed to cover.
Superb.
Yeah. I love it.
No, I feel like everything else. Funny enough, I mean, obviously, like, until I changed job, like me and Anthony and Fuzzy doing the good, the bad, and the ugly. We said if West Ham went down, what we do then? I said, we'll have to find someone else, wouldn't you? Simple as that. Used to have to carry on and have to do something else.
And we'll have to change this to the West Ham way.
Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, Ace is going on that. I mean, look, the Clunkies obviously just think he's done an exceptional job, and they're going to reward him from the quadruple down to the double, and possibly maybe a single. And they're going to give him a 4-year deal on £21 million a year. Sounds like we're in the wrong game, Budgie.
21 million, yeah. That's more than a lot of Formula One drivers get in a year. And they're fucking firing themselves around the world at 200 miles an hour at times, you know what I mean?
I'm sure I heard in one of the Arsenal channels, I think it worked out, what's that, a week? Something like 1.7 million a week. Something like that. Or month, whatever it is. I mean, that's just absolute craziness.
Yeah.
That's saying maybe not on Sunday, Aces. Ace saying, Daz, unfortunately, I think Arsenal players know AFTV City dropping points against Everton title is in their grasp. True. There is, They're saying Erpy to be released in the summer. Thoughts on Epper we treat the academy? It's an interesting one, isn't it? Erpy, I think, they've given the opportunity to go out, pile his trade, and now they're looking to release him. And
I think, that second part of that, he's not happy about how we treat the academy. Now, our academy is very different to how it used to be, as are most academies.
Yes.
You have a look at most of the big teams, they've all got academies. Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, they've all got them. Man United.
Interrupt you, bad story, mate. I'll just let you know here. They've just got a VAR on that, and it has been awarded a penalty. Milinkovic has pulled the Aston Villa player, and that it is now a penalty to Aston Villa. I'm trying to see what his name is.
Oh.
I mean, it's clear. He's got hold of his shirt. He pulls it. Power, his name. He goes down like a sack of spud. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's conned it, but he's definitely pulled. So it is a clear pen.
Oh, wow. Keep us updated, Tone. I mean, look, most academy players don't make their name with the club they're at the academy with. Most. If they make it at all.
Yeah.
Now, you got to remember, it's like a meat grinder, an academy. They might show lots of promise in their age group, but then when they start playing against men, and when they start playing man's game, it's a very different world for them, and a lot of them don't make it.
Yeah, 2-1, 2-1.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. As we've seen with many players, and
When I
George
was there,
Murphy, unfortunately, is another one of those products where he will now go out to whoever he's going to be going to. It'll probably be someone like Dagenham and Redbridge or something like that.
Prince Harry celebrating confidently as well. Big punching fist in the air there. I mean, when I was there, Bud, something else again, man. When I was at West Ham, you found that if a player didn't make it at West Ham, they would either pushed on Spurs, Charlton, Southend, and who was the other one? There's another one.
Orient.
Yeah, that's the one. Orient. Yeah, you've literally went ring of roses.
Yeah.
You didn't make it one play. They filled you on the next one, on the one after that, etc.
Yeah.
Until you found your niche, basically.
Yeah.
A shame.
One or two would cross the water and end up at Millwall, or Charlton. Like from Charlton to Millwall, or vice versa. Yeah. It happened at times, But
it does.
I mean, look, Billy Bonds.
Yeah, it's true.
Spent his entire career wearing claret and blue, and his first job in management, Millwall.
True, very true, mate. Collins, if Staveley is involved, we could have a change in ownership for she's a broker of deals, and she knows a hell of a lot of billionaires. And this is the thing. I mean, if we do stay up,
yeah,
we can.
And that is, that question at the beginning, if Staveley is involved. And it's been a lot of speculation on it, and there's been some reported facts on it. I say that lightly because who knows these days. But yeah, as you say, if it is true, then just maybe she could broker a good deal for the club.
Let's hope so.
What I'm interested in.
Yeah, let's hope so. I mean, it needs a change, that's for sure. So apparently Bowen's 30 in December, by the way.
30 in December, so he's just gone 29, yeah.
But he agrees with you in that. He think you were going north due to the family as well.
Yeah. I mean, why would you go north for what's he going to have up there? 5 years max? And completely uproot his kids,
Yeah.
He's not going to do that, I don't think.
Harry saying to Matt this season, Skulls, Potts, Canty, Mayers have all had their regular minutes. When has that happened in the last 14 years in the Prem? True. That says hopefully we'll get 3 points on Sunday, but I'm not confident. I think the main thing is we've got to have that belief, haven't we? Without a doubt. Matt says agree on that. Potts and Skulls had the most, and you're missing the point out. Up the hammers in there. Only one of 4 come up. This is true, Brendan. Yes. Let's just wish.
Is it?
Yes, only one. Yes, because that's what it goes through. Matt saying I've got a good crop of lads that should be at least on the bench getting the minutes, but we play like the likes of Magassa. Potts has only been pawned since he's, and this is the thing. I mean, I've said this as well. Potts since the red card, he doesn't seem to recover from it. And I don't know. Are we kind of? We're not managing the kids right? I don't know.
I mean, listen, every single one of them has to be treated differently, don't they? We know that they're all different individuals, etc., etc. And one of the things is that we've got to remember that his dad works at the club as a coach. And he's been under his dad most of his career at West Ham. His dad's been mainly his head coach for most of his career. And now he's being handled by the first team coaching staff. It's a very different thing, and perhaps they don't quite know the motivational or what the approach would be, whether it's arm around him or keep your distance from him or whatever. Maybe they're not aware of that, and maybe there's a miscommunication, because I know for a fact if I'd have been Steve Potts, I'd have been walking into Nuno's office and saying, look, I know you've been having my boy training with you. Let me just give you a rundown of his character. bosh. He does that, he walks out, he leaves that in Nuno's lap. Nuno goes, right, lads, I want you to make sure that when Freddie fucks up, you tell him. You do that again, I'm going to kick your arse, young man, or whatever the case may be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And in that way, I mean, a red card is not the end of the world for a player.
No.
But it seems to have kind of been a big shocker for him.
Yeah, it's dented his confidence without foul. I mean, he's not the same player for some reason. Harry reckons you go up to 21 teams in the Premier League next season. That'd be good. We can stay in at least. That's it. Hello. Tim knows an academy and all have been released or loaned out. How many youth cups we won and not got a sniff? This is the problem with most clubs now. I mean, look, you've got to think. Let's take, for instance, Chelsea. I mean, when you think what they had and the amount of players they filled it out, you don't see as hear so much of them anymore as well.
Yeah.
But I think, like you said, Budge, unfortunately, academies.
Meat grinders these days.
Yeah, but at the same point, you don't see as much activity like we used to. You've got to think like, Man United, what they churned out, what we churned out with the likes of Cole, Defoe, Carricks, Lampard.
But look, we really only get to see the Football League system. So that's the Premier League, Championship, League One, League Two. That's really what we as a fan base, really, we really only see that movement, right? But you got to remember there's, other leagues that feed this league system.
Yeah, because you go down to the non-league, right? And that means obviously look.
Yeah. So can you imagine the prestige of someone like, let's just say for argument's sake, Horsham Town, right? Imagine the prestige if they've got, a graduate from the Chelsea Academy and one from the City Academy and one from Notts Forest's Academy, for example. That's 3 Premier League academies. I'm excluding us because I don't want to be greedy. But, I'm just saying the prestige that Horsham will have by having, academy graduates from those 3 academies now playing senior football at their club.
Yeah.
That attracts maybe another 50 to 100 people to come and watch them. That's another $5,000 in their coffers. For a club like that, that's a lot of dough.
Big difference. Yeah, exactly. Because then you shit the pyramid, isn't it? You get players coming up the pyramid. Good evening, Luke. And he's saying my support Wellingborough Town. And again, they're not a bad team. Not bad.
Yeah.
Good evening, Lone Star. All right, Tony. Emma's getting slapped again Sunday. Good to see you, Lone Star.
Evening, Lone Star.
No, I mean, that's his name in my house. So, okay. Thank you, Matt.
All right, okay.
Harry saying, I still think Nuno has used our youth more than any other manager in the last 14 years. And I totally agree on that. That's one thing. We know full well Moyes wasn't exactly an advocate of them. That's without a doubt. But...
Yeah, but then you got to remember in one match in Europe, he rotated them, obviously, but he used 6 or 7, was it? In one match? Or 5, something like that.
Yeah, there was that, but that was a rarity though, Budge, when you think
that
about
was,
it.
Yeah, and it was a dead rubber. We didn't need to win all.
No. Yeah.
But having said that, Nuno's been more consistent with his use of the academy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And he's been more selective with players that us and many other channels have spoken about that we like during the games. They've obviously shown their abilities in the games that we've all seen and said, oh, I like Kante, I like the way he does this, or I like, Potts because of the way he commands the midfield, or whatever the case may be. We're all saying this sort of stuff, but you can more or less guarantee that the first team, scouts and coaching staff are saying the same shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To whoever is in the seat at the time. You know, currently it's Nuno, and they're saying that Nuno, you know, this Kante boy, not only is he strong and tall, and he knows his position, but when he breaks forward, he's a dangerous threat on goal, you know, and things like that, or whatever the case may be. And Nuno's going, okay, well, bring him in, let's have a look, you know, things like that. And I'm pretty sure that Nuno is open to that, because you got to remember, once upon a time, he was a youth player and he was asked to go in goal for a game and spent the whole career in goal.
That's right. From that.
And he was an outfield player before that game that he was asked to play. And he took one for the team, basically. And he done very well and became a keeper.
Yeah, you got it.
So, you know,
what's it there? Michael said he'll take the shumps in a heartbeat, Budge. He's saying it. It would actually show the blue card finally show real intent and actual ambition for a change, he's saying there. That's the
yeah, but it would also show that they're reaching out to their heritage as well, because Deschamps was part of their, you know, title crushing team, wasn't he?
True.
So, you know.
That's why it'd be, Dad. Look, yeah, look, it's not over until the fat lady sings, as he says, it boys and girls. 100% does.
Yeah.
Lone Star, Harry saying Lone Star. Let's have a take on there. Evening, Lee. Good to see you, mate. Hello, everyone. He's saying Lee stay from TV. Yeah, make sure.
Good evening, Lee. Hope you're well, mate. Shout out your mum and dad for us.
And he's looking to do some content during the summer of the old World Cup, and he looks like he might be doing some watch-alongs as well, so that'd be good to watch. And he's saying, everyone hit the like button and hit the subscribe. Well done, mate. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And this is a good thing, Matt. Look, everyone's entitled to opinions, and as you said, you're wrong, but agree to disagree. That's what it's all about. Bloody cat. 41 Judas knows Tomlin and John. Yeah, we've had, but look, we've done them. We've had them.
Is that the cat, or is that the missus trying to escape?
Yeah, not another YouTube show. This.
Or trying to get in? You've nailed the door shut, haven't you?
Low Star said, Harry Monk, just 11 goals scored against West Ham in the last 2 visits to London Stadium. Yeah. Well, Palace are now 2-1 up against Shakhtar. Thank you, Harry. Matt saying a good goal from the Palace. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight tower. Toker. We got it.
Yeah,
Stu, good evening to yourself as well. Good evening, Tony and Budgie. Hope you're both well. We are indeed, mate. So that's Stu.
Evening, Stuart.
That's his channel, The Sporting Journey, as well. Make sure we give him a like. If Palace win the Conference League, it's 3 English winners in the last 6 years being made, which is nice for the English teams.
Yeah.
Finally getting some recognition.
Yeah. The only team that bottled out of it was Tottenham. Sorry, did I say that out loud?
Predictive text it can be a pain in the arse, mate, that's for sure. Harry saying the Arsenal track up down hard on Sunday. They've got previous. It's true. I'm a drinker. Brendan saying Bet Palace are happy they got relegated to the conference now. I'm gonna play music in the sun. Look at that. Oh, music. I'm a winner. I'm a grinner. Lone Star say, Budge, ain't you got enough problems of your own? Nah, not at all. We always look at other teams.
Mate.
Chris has gone. He's saying, late as all. Got to get my early to get me jabs for Hull tomorrow night. What a shithole. Chris, thanks for being with us, mate. Absolutely brilliant.
Good luck, Chris. Hope you do well, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hope you do well. Like to see you up there.
Matt's off as well. I think we'll use the same 11. Brain says 3-1 loss, but Hart says 1-0. Coming up to the fucking moments. Ta-da, mate. Well done, Matt, for being with us.
See you later, Matt. Thanks again.
Yeah, look, good luck, fellows. Well, Brenna's saying, Harry, well, Steve Miller, the Snoop Dogg of his day. Good luck, Mill, Chris. More games on the telly. Yeah, as they're saying, no VAR as well. That's true. We could do go down.
Although they're talking about introducing it the following season.
Yeah, but they all voted for it not to be there. I mean, look, I'm going to read
Oh, have they?
Yeah, all the EFL clubs said, no, I don't want it. So
yeah,
hopefully that'll be the good thing. So we did the show last night with the 2 marks, and I decided we'll put a a comment into the community chat, and I'll read this out because it's got a lot of good things on this. He says, "You know, Tom, I keep thinking of the Blue Oyster Cult song, 'Don't Fear the Reaper,' when it comes to us
Yeah.
being relegated. We could get our freedom. I don't want to get relegated, but if it means flushing the toilet and rebuilding, it doesn't scare me as much. And to the people saying we may not come back up, I always look at the first season I followed West Ham, which was off the back of Pardew pulling us out of the relegation waters. Would Nuno be the one to do it? I don't have much faith in the guy, but I see us emerging from the wreckage quicker than people would think. Let's hope for the best, but don't see the worst being the worst. As such, it's hyped up to be. West Ham could become born anew, and we could crawl from the wreckage with a new bounce on everything, and the chains that shackled us could broken finally."
Wow, pretty profound, isn't it?
Powerful. It is powerful. You know, as
Very
I said
powerful. And who put that in Iron Disciple?
yeah. He put
You've got to remember, he's American.
Yeah.
For someone with that much passion for what he's saying about the club, top draw stuff, mate. Honestly,
Yeah.
I love that. Iron D, if you're watching or if you watch this back, top stuff, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Gary's saying, "My home team, Newport County, did me proud, and we'll be playing Div 2 football next season. Please, my beloved Hammers, do the same." Absolutely. I mean, Newport County, I mean, like, you know, that was good to watch them last season in the FA Cups and stuff. And
Yeah.
what I liked about that was the houses that look over the ground. And there's one, the cheeky sods have actually kind of built a platform in their garden so they can just sit there and watch the game.
Literally right by the edge of the boundary for the pitch.
Man.
Hilarious.
Michael's saying Arteta's getting a statue without actually winning anything. Quite an achievement, but that's in an Arsenal's DNA. Very Spursy, like I say. But they're saying, "Oh, Gary, I saw Newport play at Exeter a few seasons ago. Congrats to them." Yeah, great stuff for them.
Yeah,
Lone Star saying, "Standard in Europa and Conference is pathetic. Only because this season someone's doing pretty well. Villa and Palace should be laughing," Lone Star saying. Harry's gone, "How many players have we released that have gone and smashed it elsewhere?" None.
Yeah.
Lone Star saying, "Better to be the pigeon instead of the statue." Yeah, we shit all over him, I suppose. A lot going on and need to go. Top show. Daz, hope everything's all right, mate. And thanks for being with us and that.
Thanks,
do
Daz.
appreciate that. Also, Gary says, "My home team did me proud and we'll play Div 2 sitting next up top." That's twice it's come up for some reason. Don't know what that was all about.
Hang on, I just want to go back a couple of comments where he said how many academy players have gone and smashed it elsewhere. Harry, you got to state since the days of Rio and Frank, Michael Carrick, Jermaine Defoe, because they all did smashed it elsewhere. But since then, you're probably right. There have been very few or none. But you can't forget about them lads, because they were all academy grads, weren't they, from us? Every one of them.
Lone Star saying, "Budge, when Arteta relegates West Ham Sunday, do you think he will sign Bowen in the summer?"
Not a chance. Not a chance. Not all the time he's got Saka there, because Saka's his blue-eyed boy. He's played Saka when he's only 70% fit. You've seen it in him. And Arteta relies on him far too much, as do England. Arsenal have got Madueke there now as well, haven't they?
Yep. Yeah, they've got him as well.
Yeah, I would rather play 100% fit Madueke than an 80% fit Saka. And Arteta doesn't. He'll play an 80% fit Saka. So in my eye, it's a flawed loyalty.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
McGinn has just put Villa 3-0 up in the game, so it's 3-1 on aggregate now. They definitely go through. Yeah, he's not going to be an happy man. Harry saying, Mbamba and Perkins, where are they now? I mean, you know, City, I think, did they loan him out, or was he still in the background there? I can't remember.
Mbamba went to City, and I think he's still there. No, I think he's out on loan.
Oh, loan.
maybe.
Brendan's
Or
saying
did he?
Stoke on a wet Tuesday evening and bench warming in Leighton. Oof, dear me. Michael said to Gary, well done on your win. Although I was gutted on the Lactics Fondop getting sent off, helped out big time. But it has to be said, you still had to do the job. Happy with the top 10 finish. Of course, for Michael's local team. Still a bit of crush on Perkins, aren't they? What's Sue? Yeah, look at that. Harry. Louise Lombardi saying, oh dear me, she sups on the Furry Cup talks. Jeez. Can't blame her for that. Love the chat sometimes. There you go. Look, that's it. We're not going down, boys. Be positive. We've got to. Absolutely, Daz.
That's it. You've got to be positive.
There you go. Look, as Michael's saying, look, West Ham United women stayed up. Hopefully, the men will do the same. Would be good.
Yeah. Actually, they actually crushed it in the last couple of games.
They have, haven't they? That's true.
Proper.
Good shout from Colin here, Budgie. Look, he says, well, I see Spurs dropping points against Leeds, who are a team that won't down tools. And they have the intensity and will want 3 points. And Everton, I see getting 3 points against Everton Moyes will demand it because, obviously, as you said earlier, they want European football next year. And
yeah. And, fair play to David Moyes when he's got a bit between his teeth. There's very little going to get it out, you know what I mean? He'll pull until he gets his way. I can see what Colin means by that.
Yeah, I think, excuse me, a lot of Spurs, because obviously, in the morning times, you've got old Cookie does a breakfast show, and a lot of them you can see in the comments were saying, "But what happens if West Ham draw against them? That could really upset the apple cart." And it's like, well, yeah, keep on saying it, boys. That's what we want to see, because I think if you look at it, there is that opportunity. It could happen.
Yeah. I think we need to.
Oh my days! McGinn's just scored another one. We are, mate. I'm going to do it now. McGinn he scored on the left-hand side, and he's now scored the right-hand side. He is definitely.
Oh my gosh!
There.
McGinn, he's on an hat trick, and they're 4-1 up. Wow.
Prince Harry's out of his seat. He can't contain himself. Sorry, Prince William's out of his seat. He can't contain himself.
Excellent,
you're a royalty, son. You're a royalty. Sit down.
Yeah, bollocks. Fuck off.
Let me just do this before the green set. Look at that. Look. Low Star. Day shops to West Ham. Okay. Someone is higher than the Empire State Building who predecessor to him. Okay. Say hello to King Kong Weiss up there, Lone Star. Behave. I love that. It's just a state of mind. Well done, Harry. Had a right laugh. Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Gary says we have to win one of our 3 games and Spurs lose all 3 because of our bad goal difference. I mean, that's the thing in it, is the killer, is the goal difference. But that's the thing.
That is the killer. If we're on even points, we're down.
Yeah. And that's man. Right, let's do this now. So let's do the Green Street Elites. And
okay.
I did like this man as well. He wasn't a bad player.
Thursday night on Hammers, football TV. The West Ham review coming at you from Tom Budgie. Green Street Elite celebrating the heroes we adore. Like Clyde, Best, McAvaney, Carty, and more. This week's Green Street Elite is Robert Green, one of the greatest keepers you've ever seen. Between the sticks, he forward like a bear. Down on the ground and up in the air. Oh, Green Street Elite, the best of Uptown Park on Hammers Football TV. Oh, Green Street
Elite. New little intro for it every week now. I love it. It's great. I love that app tone. Brilliant. Yeah, Robert Green, mate. I loved him. I thought he was a beast in goal. Although many people would just say he was mad, but I think there was a method in his madness. Because what a shot stopper! You saw a couple of little clips then.
Yeah.
Cherry picked, of course, but shot stopper extraordinaire. And, close range, long range, up in the air, on the ground, didn't matter, He could get to them. And he weren't exactly what you would call a giant in stature either. I think he was about 5'9" or something.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm speaking to him like he's dead. He's not. He's about 5'9" or somewhere, 5'9", 9'10", somewhere. But he's not a particularly tall man. But, you know, great keeper.
And then when you think about it, he had, you know, big boots to fill, didn't he? When you think who he had to take over from.
Yeah, yeah. Remind me who he took over from. Hang on.
I've said that to myself and that.
Ludo, wasn't it?
I think it was Ludo,
No.
actually.
Yeah, was it Ludo?
Let me have a quick look. I'm sure it was Ludo.
I can't remember now. I'm going to have a look in the chat because it's bound to be down there. Hang on. Oh, I've got to the bottom. Budgie Cowell with that app. Yeah, right. Oh, nice one, Brendan. Yeah, no. Well, you know, we've had quite a history. I'm fairly sure. We've had quite a history of good goalkeepers, though. You know, even if it was, you know, whoever it was before him, we've had good goalkeepers. You know, and after him, we've had some great goalkeepers. But for me, I think Rob Green, when he played for us, I think he had that aggression. I think a goalkeeper needs to have. A lot of goalkeepers don't have aggression these days. I mean, you look at Jordan Pickford, for example. You could literally dress him up in a clown suit and he'd still do his job, you know, and he wouldn't look out of place wearing it. Even in iron, yeah, I do believe that Rob Green was one of those no-nonsense goalkeepers that not many people like to mess with, you know.
Yeah.
Because I think he could be a bit naughty in close quarters, you know. And, you know, you got to also remember he also played for Chelsea as well at some point in his career. And my brother said a similar thing that, you know, one of the keepers he used to like at Chelsea was Rob Green because of that aggressive, you know, play that he had in him. So, but, you know, I mean, he while he was with West Ham, he was, you know, loyal and true to the club. And I've seen the Ironcast video with him, you know, the interview with him with Chris and Ginger, I think it was, or might have been Colton. I think it was Ginger. And that's quite an interview. And he said, you know, he says even today he still follows our progress and so on and so forth. So, yeah, and he said it's true what you all say. Once you get West Ham in your blood, it's really difficult to get it out. You know, it's like
he's been a pundit now, hasn't he? He's doing a lot of punditry now, so he's doing that. So yeah, good luck to him. I mean, I did like him. You know, he wasn't a bad keeper at all. He pulled us some good shots.
And you know, he wore the 3 Lions as well.
Yeah, he got his chance there as well. That's true, which is good.
I can't remember how many times he wore the England top, but I will find out quickly.
Say goodbye to Gary. He says, thanks, Tom and Budge. Great show. Really entertaining 90 minutes. Good night, everyone. Good night to you as well, there, Gary. Thanks for bringing your input as well.
Cheers, mate.
Good evening, Russ. He's saying, hopefully smash Spurs as Arsenal can't do you any favours. I mean, they need to. They want to win as much as we do.
Yeah. 12 caps for England.
12 caps, yeah. Look at that. It just shows the Lone Star saying, look, Unai Emery is heading to his 6th Europa League final. Only lost 1 final.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Budgie Cow with the app. He's 6'2", apparently.
What, Rob Green? Is he?
Bloody hell. Shaka, thank you. Shaka Hislop. He replaced him.
Shaka. That's right.
There you go. There's another one. Shaka. Against Hotspur on the injury penalty catch. Yeah.
Wow, he is. He's 6'2". He don't look that big though, does he?
No, you don't, mate. I think that's because he lost a bit of weight. He looks thinner than when he first started with us.
Yeah. And funnily enough, his date of birth is his birthday is one day after mine. Yeah.
Wow. Lone Star's asking you, can England win the World Cup?
Oh, now that's a good question, and one I don't want to fully commit to. I'm never going to say again that I think England will win a World Cup. We have the tools to do it, as in the players.
Thanks, Sharky.
We have a head coach with a winning mentality, win at all costs mentality, actually. And I think he would probably be the manager to do it if any of the managers we've had in the last 35, 40 years could have done. Gareth Southgate done really well to get us to a final. Really well. It wasn't a World Cup final, but it was a final. Done really, really well to get us to that final, but I think that was his kind of peak. Whereas Thomas Tuchel, I think, with that mentality that he's got and the way he handles the press, I love the way he handles the press, by the way.
Yeah.
In fact, I was listening to Gonzo talking about him handling the press some time ago. I think when he first got the job. And I agreed with everything Gonzo said. And if I could say all of that the way Gonzo said it, I would. Or if I could put a clip of it up now, I would. But I thought, but anyway, I just think that Thomas Tuchel is the man to do it if anybody has been capable of doing it in the last 35 years or so, in my opinion. But I don't think we will.
Yeah, I'm not going to leave my opinion out because I'm in the same boat as you, I think. Andy Sop was saying, Hislop was my man. I like Shaq Hislop as well.
Yeah.
He's another one that gave Spurs hell when he came out of the box and threw himself in the mix for Ferdinand to exact his mistake moments earlier. But Green was a tough bastard, he's saying. What a shout.
Yeah.
There you go. Colin's saying, Robert Green, 1.87, 6'2".
Yeah, I did get that wrong. He just didn't look that big.
He don't look that big. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, both keepers are decent, haven't they? And everyone's saying like, Andy Disciple as well. Green was a quality goalie for us, yeah, without a doubt.
He was, and not only that, he was one of the guys that you would often see in the press because there wasn't really so much social media around them, was it? Well, there wasn't any then. It was all in the press on TV and whatever, and radio, whatever. But we used to get like in the programs and stuff. Sometimes you might get like a little section where some of the team members have visited a local hospital, or they're out on a training camp somewhere. I don't know. Let's just pick a place, Turkey, for example. And they're on a training camp in Turkey, for example, and they'll go to a local hospital there. And Rob Green was always one of the players in his time at West Ham that you would see doing those kinds of things. He always had time for other people, Rob Green. Always signed autographs, always had time to say hello to the kids. Quite often you see him give his gloves to a kid behind the goal. Quite often was the same kid. But, yeah. So, a thoroughly decent guy. And funny as fuck as well. When you listen to him, he's funny. He is a funny guy. He is. Anyway, let's carry on with the chat.
Lone Star saying Bob Green dropped the flipping ball against the USA in the World Cup. Plum.
Yeah.
My money's on the Frogs. Yeah, where is Frog? We ain't seen it today like that. Yeah, we all knew. Yeah, true. Lone Star. They'll all be stuck in a wheel, Harry. Yeah, wait and see him. You're a fight tonight, Togs. Colin saying, I've always said we won't win the World Cup unless there is West Ham players involved once again. Great start. But I mean, for me, Tuchel's kind of had him in certain of the games, but I think he sees him more as a fringe player, unfortunately. I don't think he gets much of a chance.
Yep. Kind of like Jeff Hurst was for Sir Alf Ramsey.
That's a good point. Yeah, that is a good point.
And then became the World Cup winner with a hat-trick.
Ironically.
Stranger things happen at sea, boss. Stranger things happen.
As they say. Good evening, Arthur Bushby. He says, win World Cup, Harry Kane, Calvert-Lewin. I mean, when you look at Kane at the moment, I mean, bloody hell. The last time I saw his stats, I think it's like, this season, 54 goals.
Yeah. I'd like to know, because I've kind of got a bit of a bug to bear with stats like that. 54 goals, but how many of them are penalties?
Oof. Let's see if I can.
Because a penalty, it's a 90% chance you're going to score from it. A player like Harry Kane is probably more like 95% or better.
Let's have a quick look, mate.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting stat. It's a bloody impressive stat. 54 or 50, whatever it was, goals. Very impressive stat. But I'd like to know how many of them are penalties. I mean, if it's less than 20, I'd accept that. That's still bloody good going. You know what I mean? But if it's like 37 penalties or something, I'd be going...
Well, interesting. I mean, there was a stat that said 54. So I looked at it here. It says here, as of early May 26, Harry Kane has scored 33 goals in 29 Bundesliga matches for Bayern Munich in the 25-26 season. Of those, 10 were penalties. Now, there's something else that said it's 54.
So that's a good stat.
Yeah, because I don't know if it's cup games or this is just going by the season.
Yeah, that's probably all appearances. Cup, national cups and European Cup, etc., etc.
Yeah,
that's probably his entire tally for the entire season or for that entire period.
I think, probably is. Yeah,
but if it's 30 plus goals with a third of them being penalties, or almost a third of them being penalties, that's kind of an acceptable ratio for me.
True.
But if that ratio becomes 50+%, that's when I start thinking to myself, because if you're going to get given the opportunity or the responsibility to take penalties, you've got to be good at them to start with, which Harry Kane is, we all know.
Yeah.
So he's going to get that responsibility. So, and because of his confidence and his ability doing that job, his ratio must be 95% success. Got to be somewhere around there.
Yeah. Well, you can understand why he's renewing the contract with him and that. He seems to be enjoying himself quite a lot there.
And he's getting what he's being paid for. He's getting goals.
Yeah.
He's getting 80,000 people in that stadium, isn't it? Something like that. In that Bayern Munich stadium, in that, what's it called? The Olympic Stadium, isn't it?
I'm not sure if it's called now. No, it's
Allianz.
Allianz.
It's something like 80,000 stadium or some ridiculous number.
Can't be lucky.
But I mean, having all of them shouting your name when you just put the bloody ball in the onion bag, that's a bigger draw than a paycheck.
Cool,
isn't it?
Mate. Jesus.
Let's be fair. if he was still doing that for Tottenham, then they wouldn't be in the position they're in, and he would probably be on similar money to what he's on at Bayern.
I suppose it's interesting, isn't it? Since he left, they have gone to shit Spurs. So every cloud, I suppose.
Yeah. Rob Green was at Leeds. Yeah, he was. He was at Norwich, then West Ham. He went to QPR, then to Leeds, then to Huddersfield, and then from Huddersfield he went to Chelsea, and that's where he finished his career. Actually made 0 appearances for Chelsea and 0 appearances for Huddersfield, and yet my brother said he liked reserve games.
Okay, just
reserve games. My brother used to go to a lot of them. He said he got to see more of Gianfranco Zola in the reserve games than he did actually going to the stadium and watching them. In the league, because he was able to go and pick and choose where he was in the stadium.
Oh, yeah, you can see where you were. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, there was probably like 8,000 people maximum now.
Still good.
You go and pick and choose and walk around the stadium back then.
What someone was saying, I sense Nuno packing it out defensively. Warren drew a set piece punishment, but somehow West Ham 1-0, maybe 2-0. It has to be 0 because goals don't stop usually when Arsenal land one. Yeah, that's true. That is true. We're getting near to the end anyway, but so let's see. I'm
going to have to go soon anyway, mate, because
we're going to wrap it up.
5 a.m. start for me.
Oh, bloody hell. What when World Cup, any ship Spurs players, isn't it? But it must be in the squad. I can't see it, though. Can't see it. Marcus saying, "Hope Frog and Usual are okay. Good time." Yeah, well, I hope so, man. I mean, Usual's kind of
Usual's in the chat with mine in my show last night.
Yeah, he's. But I know when he gets up, gets asked.
She's playing Call of Duty in the background and got blown up. It's all right, bud. Everybody heard you. Oh dear.
We beat Spurs. Let's hope so as well. Shockley says, "Yeah, we signed Rob Green from Norwich. Same year we signed Ashton from the Canaries too. What a player he could have been." Someone said, "We beat Arsenal. Spurs fan will lose their minds 100%."
Actually, my mate Nick, who's in my darts team, he texted me yesterday to tell me that yesterday he was actually playing golf with Dean Ashton.
Oh, really? Really? Nice.
Yeah, I said to him, "Do me a favour." He said, "What's that?" I said, "Kiss him on the forehead and tell him thanks for the great memories." He went, "I'll see if I can get away with it."
That'd be a good shout after saying there. Spurs 1, Leeds 2. That'd be good. And someone says, "Beating Spurs with art attack ball, or just going full back out the back and have Mav going end to end and just single-handedly do what Suchek did versus Everton." That'd be great, wouldn't it? Brendan says, "Top training there. It's like watching Back to the Future." Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what's going on there. Colin's saying, "Well, good night, you wonderful gentlemen. Been a pleasure joining you both, and God bless you. Great show. Take care. See you next time." Absolutely, Colin.
Cheers, Colin. Thanks, mate. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat.
We understand. Brendan saying, "Will Mark or Jay Fox save him? We'll go back to the beginning. Hope we can do something." Let's just catch up with the chat and we'll wrap it up. But Pablo's too slow, but I want Wilson up front, starting with Tay. Experience, yeah.
Oh, shit.
And Colin said good night to all the other people as well. Then off then for Pablo or someone. Lone Star says, "Budgie, as an Arsenal fan, I'm dreading the PSG. They're an exceptional team. They suffocated Munich last night in the middle of the park. Great technical players and moved the ball quickly." I mean, they were. Yeah. I don't think they'll have the same kind of effects like the first leg of that game. I mean, that was just exceptional.
The difference being though, Lone Star, is that Arsenal have got Declan Rice in the middle of that midfield, and honestly, that guy can punch a hole through any defence. Trust me. You've got the advantage having him in your squad, in your side.
Yeah, true.
Good night, Iron D.
And Harry's saying, great night show always, gentlemen. Much love and chat. And on that note, we are going to wrap up as well. Budgie, it's been a pleasure as always. People in the chat, thank you very much for your chats, etc. Well, the weekend is going to be interesting. We're going to see what it brings us. Can we kind of put the pressure back onto Spurs? That will be the interesting thing. Let's hope that we can do something in the game. I mean, obviously, a lot of people think that Arsenal are going to turn up and completely roll us over, but we maybe have something to say about that. But we will find out, and you never know. We may kind of be talking about that on Sunday night on the Sunday night takeaway. We'll see from there.
Indeed.
And as Ben was saying, thanks to Budgie and Chatters and night all, and good night everyone as well.
Night, everybody.
And as always,
thanks everybody in the chat for your comments.
Absolutely.
And
as always,
we will see you next week. Come on, you guys.